So welcome back to Smarter Markets. We're at FIA Boca, and I'm joined by Maureen Downs, co-founder and CFO of Connamara Technologies. Thanks so much for taking some time to sit down with us, Maureen.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And I was hoping for our listeners, if you could just take a few minutes to tell us a little bit about Connamara and how you see your role in the markets.
Sure. Connamara Technologies is a provider of exchange technology for new markets, for emerging markets, for established marketplaces. It's an end-to-end, fully integrated platform solution.
That's terrific. And who do you see, who are your customers?
Oh, our customers, it's a broad range. There are so many new asset classes that are emerging. So we think about crypto, think about carbon, think about events. So many of our clients are in new asset categories. Other clients are emerging markets. So we think about particularly Eastern Europe, South America, Africa. So emerging markets where, unlike here, where markets are highly developed, markets are just in the nation stage. And then, of course, we have established exchanges. There are many exchanges around the world who are broadening their market access, broadening their customer bases, broadening their product markets. So it's a very wide range of customers.
And am I right that part of what you provide are like the matching engines that enable exchanges to function in these different asset classes?
Absolutely. We have, matching engine is just the start of it. Of course, there is market surveillance, there's risk management, there's banking, there's settlement, there's clearing. There's all the elements that from the start of the trade all the way to the clearance and settlement and movement of the money of the trade. That's our solution.
And I wanted to ask you, because my understanding is you've been coming to Boca since 1996, is that right?
Since years began with one. Yes, I think I can't remember if my first year was 96 or 97, but it's one of those two, yes.
So you're not one of the come-latelys, that's for sure. But I have noticed there's a lot more technology companies, I think, here over the last few years, and there may have been earlier. Is that true? Is that your experience? And how do you see that having developed over the past couple decades?
Well, absolutely. I mean, when I first came here in the late 90s, technology was really not a factor at all. I mean, at that time, the CME and the CBT had Globex and their technologies. The exchanges themselves had technologies, but there was not a wide front ends, back end technologies, risk management technologies. They just wasn't there. Now, as we all know, those have developed in great measure over the past 20 years, particularly because of the issues they address. It's market access, it's risk management, it's compliance, all those things, all those issues that are so important. And over the years, they're the issues that when you come here to Boca, that people are talking about.
Right. And who are the people that you find are most engaged in those conversations? Because there's a lot of talk, obviously, of like wanting to move everything digital, processes that are maybe very human intermediated and require a lot of paper, trying to get to solutions that are a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more efficient. Who are the folks that you find are most engaged with technology right now?
It's interesting, and why it's so important to come to this conference, because whether you're a regulator whose job is to make sure that our markets are safe and secure, whether you're an exchange who also has an interest in making sure that there's adequate risk management, adequate monitoring of trading, of manipulations, whether you're a brokerage firm who is looking for solutions to make the experience better for their customers or more cost-effective for their customers, whether you're a thought leader thinking about how all these markets, how they change over time, how they can provide better access, better experience, better safety for customers. So it's it's extremely wide, and that's why it's great to come here. And no matter who you sit and talk to, no matter what end of the industry they come from, we're going to talk about technology at some level.
That's great. And for people who aren't able to come to the conference, is there anything you've overheard this week that you were like, oh, that's interesting, that's new?
Of course, there's a lot of talk this week about AI, and not just in this industry, in every industry. But one of the things that conversations I've had multiple times this week is it's about thinking about the growth of the retail customer in futures. And part of that growth started with crypto, and part of it started during COVID. So a whole generation of people who had never traded anything before, were introduced during COVID to the world of trading through crypto. And so that whole generation of folks who've never experienced trading, now there's an opportunity to introduce those folks to a range of new products in the futures world, in the derivatives world, in options. Those people are primed to be the next generation, but those folks are going to want technology. They want frictionless trading. They want it to be fast, easy, 24/7. So I think one of the main things to think about is that next generation who have had a taste of trading and how we can bring them into our markets, into the futures markets, which are safe, secure, developed, with a great range of products.
And it's a really fascinating point, right? Because these people that are new to the market, they might be new to the futures markets, but they're also very technologically sophisticated. Right. They're used to things working very well, very seamlessly, as you said. And when you look around, at the state of the technology in the futures industry, what do you think we as an industry need to be doing to kind of bring our technology up to the level of expectations and needs that this new group of investors is looking for and accustomed to?
Right. I think certainly it has to be frictionless and seamless. And I think one of the challenges we have as an industry is many of our technologies were developed for a single purpose. They might have been for the purpose of market surveillance or risk management, or they might be front-end trading systems or analytic systems. They were built for single purpose, and sometimes they don't work easily together. They're bits and pieces that you put together. But that next generation of trader, they want all that in one place. They can pick and choose, and in a single application. So I think we're going to have to get better at thinking about how to integrate our various technology systems, all the way through payments and clearing and margining and all those things. They can't exist as separate systems, but they do today.
Right. And thinking about the opportunity that's there, relative to what you've seen, the opportunities for the use of technology over the past 20 years, what do you see as the big opportunities moving forward? Is it being able to bring in that whole new group of traders into futures markets, or are there other opportunities that you see as well?
Oh, I think that's a great opportunity, but I think there's also an incredible opportunity in two areas. One, when we think about emerging economies, and that is large parts of South America and Africa and Asia. Some of those markets who are just nations, they look to develop markets and say, there's an opportunity to grow our GDP. There's an opportunity to raise living standards for some of our producers, some of our farmers, some of our miners, and markets can do that. I'm a big believer in exchanges because they bring price transparency, liquidity. They will have the opportunity to tighten spreads, and I think that increases the wealth for everyone. And I can't tell you how I think that is a grand opportunity for our industry. We at our company, we see the demand coming from all over the world to come into market economies.
Well, that's terrific. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your insights, your experience with us today. Really appreciate you coming by and talking with us on Smarter Markets.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for having me. It's been terrific.